What does it take to get your ex to actually understand you and listen to you? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Hey there, this is Clay with modernlove.life. Now, as we go ahead and get into this video, I want to tell you a little bit of a story here. This story actually takes place in Costa Rica. I had the privilege of working with an entrepreneur from Costa Rica who has been pretty successful. And he ended up in a relationship with, I guess, a Costa Rican model. And things were going pretty well with their relationship anyway. But then his business started to hit on some hard times. And he actually didn't tell his girlfriend what was going on with his business. He was under a lot of stress. He was working a lot, things of that nature. And so there was a lot of disconnection between the two of them. And it was during this time that she actually started to form an emotional connection with someone at work, at her work. And then it was through all of this that they actually ended up breaking up. She broke up with him, and he went through this whole journey of, everything that I'm sure that you have experienced and then some. The pain, the agony, the damage control mode that we talk about, all these sorts of things. In fact, he'd even gone so far as to seek answers for a lot of these challenges that he was going through. You know, he was talking to a therapist, I believe. He went to a meditation retreat. He was reading all sorts of books, things of that nature, personal development books, not just random books. And then by the time that he got on a call with us, that's when we started working together through some of the challenges that he was going through. Because, sure, you can go through a breakup and it's like, okay, whatever. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a successful guy, whatever, I can just get another girlfriend. Sure, and he could, but he wanted to be with this woman. To make matters worse, their lives, it wasn't just like, okay, we're breaking up, we'll just go our separate ways, but their lives were still sort of entwined. They lived in the same neighborhood, so he would be going out and about. He would see her on the street sometimes. He would sometimes even see her with the new guy, and that was even worse. And trust me, I get it. I've been there myself. I'm sure many of you have as well too. That feeling that you get like a punch in the gut, or like you're on a roller coaster and you just start dropping down, and your stomach just starts to feel all queasy. I get it. I've been there. I know you feel that way too. And that's exactly how he felt. And it was really difficult for him too, because they were still in contact. He was still talking to her and communicating with her, but she wasn't listening to him. She wasn't understanding that he had turned a leaf, that he was much more emotionally connected, that he had worked on himself, that he had done all of these things, and she had just kind of dug her heels into this new rebound relationship. Does that sound a little bit familiar to you? Does that sound like something that maybe you're experiencing as well? I can tell you that's something that I experienced with my big ex that I talk about on this channel from time to time as well too. And this is what he experienced as well too. We worked with him by going through advanced relational skills and teaching him how to communicate with her better and all of that stuff. And that started to form a little bit of a better emotional bond. But this started to get really frustrating for him once she started getting closer to him and then pulling back, getting closer and then pulling back, getting closer and then pulling back. And what this looks like is, you have this really great moment, this really great conversation, whether you're in person, on the phone, whatever, and your ex says to you, hey, I think I'm really starting to doubt our breakup. I think I still have feelings for you. And you're thinking, okay, great, this is wonderful. This is great. This is wonderful. I can see progress here. And you go to bed, you're feeling great that night. And then the next day, you go about your day and you get some sort of message or maybe a phone call or maybe a conversation with them. And they say, hey, I'm going to have to take back everything I said yesterday, because actually I think that we're better off as friends. I think it's best that we broke up. There's nothing between the two of us. I'm getting really serious with this other person here. That's exactly what happened with Evan, my client, in this whole situation with his ex. And it was really frustrating and confusing. It's like, why won't you just listen to me? Why don't you just talk this out with me? Why don't we just work this out? And, if you've watched some of our other videos on the 5 stages, you could probably recognize this as riding the dragon. Riding the dragon is a very frustrating time when you get a lot of hot and cold behavior from your ex. And this is exactly that. But we helped him to get through all of this through empathy, through just connecting with her and understanding that, hey, this is not an easy process for her. She's not doing this to test you. She's not doing this to manipulate you. She's not doing this to string you along or to have her cake and eat it too or anything like that. Most likely, of course, there's a very slim segment of the population that, probably has, some sort of psychological disorder that causes them to actually want to manipulate you or string you along or something like that. But most people out there are good, decent, genuine people. Probably your ex, probably you. You know them better than me, some rando on the internet. So you would probably have a sense if they had it in them to manipulate you or someone else. You probably would have seen it in some way during your relationship together. With that in mind, if you know them to be a good, decent person, they're probably still a good, decent person who's just genuinely confused, okay? And that's exactly where Evan's ex was. She was confused, and we helped him to relate to that. And as he started to relate to that more and more and more, she started to stay connected to him through these hot and cold things, through these moments where she'd get closer and then pull back. As this happened, these pullbacks started to get fewer and fewer between, shorter and shorter, less and less intense, and she started to get warmer and warmer and warmer with him. And it was through this that she actually straight up asked him one day, hey, can we get back together? Do you want to get back together with me? Is that a place that you'd like to be with your ex? Is that something that you'd like to experience? Probably if you're watching these videos. That is something that we've helped a lot of people on do since 2011, since we started actually, teaching our own philosophy to people. We've been helping people with breakups since 2009, but it took us a couple years to warm up, and then we actually came out with our own stuff. But this is what we call advanced relational skills, and these are powerful methods that you can use to connect with your ex or really anyone, and to create a better bonded relationship, overcome disagreements, and create stronger connections. If that's something you'd like to learn more about, please check out this video playlist over here. It's a great starting point, and it's exactly what we started to help Evan through that got him to the place where he's able to get back together with his ex. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.